Well, here we are again, and we're looking forward to this interview, another interview today with one of our great mission partners. I'm so thankful that we've been able to do these. It's actually been a lot to me to be able to talk to these wonderful people that I've had a chance to serve with over and over during the last few years. And today we're going to have Andy and Michelle Milam, who are mission partners in the country of Portugal. And it's been a blessing, a real blessing to serve with them since 2011. And we're going to get a little more information on them. I just want you to know they've got wonderful backgrounds, and we'll talk about that a little bit too. So I'm going to bring them into the image right now. We're just going to talk to Andy and Michelle Milam from Portugal. There they are.
Hey.
And we've Andy and Michelle and I have been talking a little bit before we came on live here, just to chat about a little bit what we're going to do today. And let me get them to tell you a little bit about themselves. Now, let me ask you this, guys. Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm actually from Tennessee originally. My birth date and my home in Tennessee.
That's where we spent most of our married life. I'm originally from Mississippi.
Okay, cool. By the way, Carl Vinson just joined us on he's making some comments here, letting us know he's here. Good to see Carl.
Thank you.
And now you're originally from Tennessee. Now, Andy, I believe you've been served in music ministry before. Is that correct?
Yeah, I grew up in a pastor's home, and I served for over 20 years in music ministry throughout Tennessee, various locations.
Okay, and I know we've talked some because when you return home on furlough, you often are with home folks in Knoxville, just about 3 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Mom and Dad live there west of Nashville, and so we kind of furlough between Middle Tennessee and North Georgia, which is where Michelle's parents are at in Rome, Georgia. And there's some global mission partners there in Rome.
Same area, yeah.
So, yeah.
I got you. I got you. Tamara Daniels just joined us, one of our saxophone players. Tamara, good to see you. And Jim Beck, from who's now living in Louisiana, one of my good buddies that I've known for way too long, and also Jose Moniz, who is contacting us from China, and he's one of our mission partners in China as well. And Fernando Silva just joined us.
Olá, Fernando.
So yeah, that's right, Fernando. I get that correct. I get my Portuguese. Well, so tell me, guys, now how long have you been serving in Portugal?
We were appointed as missionaries with the International Mission Board back in 2008 and have been in Portugal since 2009. So we've been here a few years, 11 years, almost 12 years.
12.
Yeah.
Wow. And our first time to serve with you and work with you was in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
We had just moved from Lisbon to Porto,
yeah.
Which is where we're based out of. And y'all, yeah, that was a great blessing to start out.
If I can be so bold and ask you, how has Global Missions Project complemented what you do with your ministry there?
So we got like 3 hours to talk here.
No.
Okay. Well, first of all, a little bit of a background. You know, Global Missions came and served along through our organization, and that's where we found out about. Of course, I knew you from music ministry and all those, but came and served with worship leading and leading hymns or missionaries with worship times, and so that's where the conversations began. And I just knew my background of how music could be influential. And so our strategy here is not only church planting, but it's engaging national partners for them to see and cast vision to them to reach people in unreached, unengaged areas. And so Global Mission Project has come alongside of us and invested with us in that strategy of reaching areas that we may not particularly go to on a daily basis, but working through us and also through our national partners and expanding the reach of what God's kingdom is about. So it's been a huge blessing for us.
And also giving us a way to enter some communities that we wouldn't normally have a natural way to enter.
This last year, thinking about that school that we got into, if I took the Bible, which that is our base, our foundation, but if I took a Bible and said, "Let's get into this school, we want to give out Bibles," no, that's not going to happen. But through music, God opened the doors, and we were able to share the gospel. You were able to share the gospel with over 200 kids that day, and the director, you remember that? The director of the school said, "Share." Yeah, I mean, you went with our national partner from the church there in Braga, and we're able to get into that private school and through music share the gospel with all those kids. That's how important the Global Mission Project is in helping and being a partner with us.
Well, it's been an incredible blessing for us, I can tell you that. Now, all of our projects with you so far have been with Metro Big Band, a jazz band.
Correct.
And actually, our original project that we planned for you was actually going to be an orchestra project, but the timing just didn't work for us to put a team together for that. But we're looking at the possibility of bringing an orchestra on one of our next visits, right?
Yeah, the Metro Big Bands have been a blessing. I don't know if you remember the first one. We got up on top of the mountain and did that one with the Catholic priest, and we're shared, and so there's been so many stories for along the years of how Global Mission has come alongside. And in these last few years, one of our partnering churches was given the responsibility or given the opportunity to run a music academy, music conservatory in that city, which is one of the most Catholic cities in Portugal. And so through that music school, when y'all came in the last time, it was a sense of, okay, hearing you speak, hearing what Global Mission was about in the Metro Big Band really made them reevaluate what their vision statement was. And so they have gone from 400 to now 800 students. Wow. And over 1,000 students. And so the idea is, okay, the Metro Big Band has really served purpose, but now, as you've been able to see in that last group or two, those are classically trained students. Yeah. And so the orchestra makes a lot of sense to come in and do workshops and use the classical aspect or the praise symphony in that realm, and expanding the ministry of what we've seen happen over the years. So awesome. We're excited about that.
Yeah.
By the way, Daniela Beard has just joined us, and Diane Sarrett and Sharon Davis. Good to see you, Sharon. And Bess Laporte from Mississippi, and Ron Gardner, who Ron has traveled with us some. It's great to see all of these people joining us today for this time with sharing with you guys. Is there anything, I'm with you. There are so many outstanding stories that I could share about what we've seen happen in Portugal, and we've encountered some really great musicians there. Not only young students, but some adult musicians as well. I still remember when we were playing outdoors in a park that was part of a block party that the church was putting on at that time. And this young man came up behind us when we were in a break and introduced himself to the trumpet section. And he, our trumpet players immediately started talking to him because he could speak some English. Our Portuguese was minimal, but he could speak some English. And I thought it was so cool that he said he introduced himself, and our trumpet players found out that he played trumpet also. And so they said, "Well, where's your trumpet?" And he said, "Well, it's in the car." And they said, "Well, go get it." And he ended up playing with us the remainder of that week. That was Nunu, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the thing, I'm sorry, Camp. The thing about that is that connection was made all those years ago, just like Pedro. Pedro's the other trumpet player that came along. And the neat thing is not only have we tried to stay in contact with these guys, but the Global Mission members and those who come on the trips have continued that ministry to those guys and to those others. That is a blessing to us, is to know it's not, okay, we're leaving, now it's yours. Global Mission sees that we are all in this together. And so those contacts are continued today.
Well, we've just made great friends around the world, and especially in Portugal with you guys.
Yeah.
And I still remember also the one of my favorite stories was when we went down to play on the deck of one of the cruise ships that was in port.
Oh yeah.
And the manager of the cruise ship, I guess it was the manager, I'm not sure, invited through, you guys negotiated it, and the band sat on the deck while the boat was in port and played, and the band was a great band. It was, I mean, it was a cooking jazz band. And and the people that were on the boat came and observed it and loved it. And the manager to us afterwards, he spoke to you and he said, well, I don't understand. How can you do this and not charge anything? I mean, you came to do this for free for us. Right. And then he said, well, I want to do something for you. He said, what are you doing at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? And I looked at you and I said, whatever you think. And we ended up taking a 2-hour cruise up the river.
Yeah. They so appreciate that, and that's, you know, we're sharing the gospel, but we're also being friends. We're also being ambassadors. And the other cool thing with that is, from that, I don't know if you remember this, they saw the value in that and began having jazz bands or things on the cruise ships.
I did not know that.
Which reminds me of that mall that we went to. They opened up, you know, that kind of neat food court. They had never done that. And so when after that, she came to us and said, do you have any more available dates during the week? I mean, she wanted us to come back. And from that, it spurred business for them. And they saw the value in that. And they now still have groups that come, and on Fridays, Saturday nights. That was an initiative of showing business also. Being a good ambassador, friends. So that's cool.
We say that music is our magnet to connect with people. It's for, I mean, we love music, we love to do it, but it's a tool. And it's something that people around the world love. And Global Missions Project has the wonderful luxury of taking musicians that are able to connect with people through that music. And so, yeah, we've seen some great opportunities there. I mean, if we kept talking about it for the next 2 hours, we could be reminiscing quite a bit about how God has used those connections to reach people, and to also, I mentioned Nunu, the trumpet player that we met on that park. Nunu's actually signed up to go on one of our projects to Poland this year.
Wow!
And so we've managed to stay in contact with him through our other players and everything. So yes, those connections are good and they're long lasting. And you don't build a relationship with somebody in one day.
No, especially in this culture, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And that's the, you know, in this, what I was sharing about the vision of church planting here, it's in essence of starting out and casting vision and working alongside great partners. And so through these years, Global Missions has helped us in establishing those relationships. And now that this vision is growing, and we have wonderful partners, Portuguese pastors and churches who are embracing the idea of, okay, when is the band coming to help me? When is Global Mission coming to help me? Because they see the value of getting into unreached areas. And so it's not just us or you, it's our national partners get it and they appreciate it very much. So
I love the fact that the School of Music, I think it was in Braga, I believe, that when we came this past October, they wanted to know why they couldn't have us for the whole 8 days there.
Yeah,
exactly. And sometimes we think about big crowds and we think of all these things, but two stories that come to my mind quickly is, our church plant that Global Missions has helped with some of the things we have. In that, leading our worship is a sweet brother in Christ and his family, and their daughter, who I had the privilege, he and I baptized her a couple of years ago. She came to Christ in one of the nights, the concerts that Global Mission Project. Here we are partners in church planting, and their daughter came to Christ underneath the ministry of Global Missions Project, and now she's in our services from time to time.
Tell us a little bit about the church plant, because this last October we had an opportunity to see the facility and some of what you're doing.
Yeah, we're here in the area about 30,000 people that had no evangelical as far as the Baptist church. So we're the Baptist faith. But anyhow, we began that work, and you guys came in and had a chance to pray with us and do some prayer time, and helped us in a sense of we now have our services have a projector, and we're able to broadcast those words on the wall and things like that. The cool thing is, even in this quarantine, when we think, where's God at work? We had a lady just before quarantine reached out to us through social media who's given her life to Christ. We have 4 new people we're doing Zoom meetings. And so we're excited about the days ahead and taking the next steps. And so y'all have been a super big part of that, praying for us and supporting us. And so we just say thank you. So we're praying for, leadership, the next steps, but we're seeing God's faithfulness.
Well, I want you to know that I desperately miss natas.
He said, "You don't miss us, you miss natas."
You're connected, so it's okay. So, tell
about Portugal. It is, it's hard to eat here, right? I mean, it's wonderful food, wonderful people.
Yeah, tell my friends what a nata is, if you can describe it.
Well, it's a small custard pie that's baked in the oven. When it comes out, it's good and warm, and you put that powdered sugar and cinnamon on top. Yeah, we better stop. We'll have to go get one. So
I hear you. I hear you. By the way, Gerardo Villagrán just joined us. I don't know Gerardo, but Gerardo, I'm glad you're with us right now and listening to what's going on. I've one of the things that we've done a number of projects to Brazil in years past, and I was learning a little bit of Portuguese in Brazil over the years there, and then I come to Portugal and I go, wait a minute. They pronounce that differently.
Yeah. It's like American English and British English, same language, but it's a different accent and some different phrases. But Portugal is the mother country.
Of course,
we have a lot of Brazilians here, and they're wonderful, wonderful, dear people. In fact, part of our church plant are Brazilian families. We couldn't do it without them, and they're a blessing. So.
Well, we want you to know that you guys are a blessing to GMP, and you've opened your arms to us and opened the doors for us to serve in incredible ways. I always look forward to the opportunities of joining you again, and we're already planning for our next opportunity with you as well. By the way, Alan Gilbert just joined us, one of our piano players. And Dennis Kirby just jumped on with us.
Dennis.
Camp, that reminds me, talking about these different names, and I talked to you about that a little bit. Our blessing is it's not just music, but it is a family. And we've been blessed from this side of it is to know for all these years, it's not people come, they play their instruments, they go home, and then it's over. GMP has been a blessing to us through these years that we have a family now of Carl Benson and Alan and all these others that keep in contact with us, take care. Ethan had to fly out, and Bobby Lewis took care of him. And it's just, there's so much more to it than just the music aspect. And we
absolutely. Well, we're all in the body of Christ together. We are truly related in a wonderful spiritual way. I remind myself every time I have lunch here with someone here. I mean, virtually everyone that I meet here is a believer, and when we're around the table together, whether it's 2 of us or 4 or 6, I thank God that He is the one who brought us together, and that is true for our relationship with you as well. He is the one that brought us together with you, and so we love you guys. Hey, listen, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm sure that all the folks that are tuned in here today and more that will watch this video later will be praying for you. Is there any special prayer requests for you today that you would like to voice?
Just pray for us as we're moving out of this quarantine like everybody else, you know, and
just figuring out what the new normal looks like.
The new normal of ministry, and there are people who are hurting, and there are people who are searching, and that God would give us the wisdom as we step forward in faith, that we're sharing the gospel and the good news with those around us. It's all about Him. So thank you for those prayers.
I've had many actually say to me over the last few months that you know, the potential of a revival coming out of this is there, and that God's will be seen. But y'all have a great rest of your day. You don't have much day left. What time is it there? What time is it there?
It's 11:25, somewhere around there. But Portuguese is late night culture, so.
I got you. I got you. Well, I can't wait to see you again, and I can't wait to eat with you again. So
that sounds great to us.
Sounds good to us too.
Right.
Thanks to you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bless you. Bye-bye.